Hey folks, Jordan with My Strategic Forecast Inside the Numbers Live, and I wanted to do a quick video to show you some of the trades that we had for the live room from yesterday. Now, it was kind of cool because we had two long trades in oil stocks, ExxonMobil and Occidental Petroleum, and then I actually took a short trade in the S&P 500 using the SDS ETF. And what's neat is that we were able to play both sides of the tape using the Stocks on the Move numbers that David provides and the Inside the Numbers commentary. So let me take you inside and show you what happened. So what you're going to see here is pretty straightforward. I had an order in the pre-market set up and everything staged as I usually do to pick up shares of Occidental Petroleum at $62.75. I also had a staged order to buy shares of ExxonMobil at $89.70. Now you can see here that I've already gotten the fill on Occidental Petroleum, and then you'll shortly see one here for ExxonMobil. So now I got a fill on ExxonMobil, and I have my exit orders for my first profit target at $90.42, give or take, on ExxonMobil, and $63.25 on Occidental Petroleum. Now, it took a little bit for them to get there, so I'm going to speed up the video for you so you can see it happen and watch as it hits the exit orders. So what you'll see here is both stocks trended a little bit lower, and then they got a bounce with the rest of the market and started pushing towards the profit targets about the same time. They would go back and forth, but ultimately made it there before about 10 a.m. Now at this point, I want to draw your attention to the SPY because we started getting up towards a shortable opportunity at around $426.30, all the way through around $427. So I went ahead and initiated a position by buying the SDS, which is a 3 times inverse ETF on the S&P 500. And I took that trade along with the other two, but kept them separate so that I could manage to turn a profit on all three. And what you'll see here is Occidental Petroleum hitting its first profit target, and then ExxonMobil hitting its first profit target shortly thereafter. From there, I had a risk-free emotionless trade because I would stop out on the remainder of the shares that I had in both at break-even, my entry, and went for higher profit targets for the remainder of the shares, scaling out as I went along, which went perfectly for both stocks, enabling me to get a lot more out of the trade than I had initially anticipated. Now, I want to turn our focus on to the S&P 500 because at this point, the SPY was trading up towards $427. And I said to myself that if the SPY would start closing 30-minute candlesticks above $427 to $427.25, that the trade was a failure, I would stop out of it and take my lumps. What I tried to do, and ultimately didn't get a fill on, was adding to the short position at around $427. Nonetheless, it took a little bit, but the SPY ended up pulling back, giving me an opportunity to take the trade off, even with my lower entry price, at a nice target, and walk away with a decent profit on it overall, on top of the trades that I had in ExxonMobil and Occidental Petroleum. So I fast forward us here to where the SPY has started to pull back. You can see that it smacked right into the resistance levels and has started to come down towards $426. Now ultimately I was shooting for around $425.40. However, I was also at a profit at this point and I didn't want to let the trade go against me. So what I started to do was look for places where I could start to take a profit a little bit earlier. And the bottom of the breakup candle on the 5-minute chart was a natural spot for me to start looking to scale out of my position. That's exactly what I did. I discussed it with members and ultimately was able to lock in a profit there, stopped out on the last portion of the trade, and overall had a pretty nice day between all three trades. So there you have it, a pretty straightforward day where I was able to knock out 3 trades before 10:30 in the morning and just sit back and relax for the rest of the day. Ideally, we want to be finished with all of our trading in the morning and let the afternoons run themselves. Every once in a while, we will find trades in the afternoon or have ones that hang over from the morning, but for the most part, this is a morning business. We offer a 7-day free trial for anybody that's interested, so you can check out the Inside the Numbers Live and make sure it's right for you. My name is Jordan with My Strategic Forecast Inside the Numbers Live. Thanks for joining me.